Hey guys, today I'm talking with Daisy, a year 1 English major at Fudan University. I met Daisy in the English debating class, where she kickstarted her series of bashing me in class and at the Fudan English Debating Society by crushing me in front of her fellow young and bright year 1 English majors after I gave my first debate speech in 4 years. Thanks, Daisy. She was part of the first-ranked Fudan team that made it to the quarterfinals of the 24th Foreign Language Teaching and Research Press Cup National English Debating Competition, and one of the 2 Fudan teams that almost broke into the elimination rounds at the 2022 World Universities Debating Championships. In this chat, we went over her debating journey, the pressures she faced when teaming up with outstanding people and in her studies, her thoughts about her freshman year, managing stress during COVID, and many other things. So without further ado, here's my conversation with Daisy.
All right, Daisy. I hope the holidays have been nice for you so far.
Yeah, it's been great, and it's just great for you to have me here on your channel because I really love your channel on Bilibili, and your videos are just so fun and inspirational, and I absolutely love them.
All right. Well, starting off with the compliments, right? I haven't even complimented you, and you just went straight ahead. But let's just jump straight into the questions, shall we?
Of course.
Yeah. So let's first talk about debating. You told me before this year is your 4th year of BP debating, and that in previous years you are, not as dominant on the field as you are now. So I wonder what that Daisy looks like, what that transformation has been like.
Well, first of all, even now, I'm still like 1,000 light years away from like dominating the field, because considering I'm just currently stuck in the bean room of WDC and basically getting fourths almost every night. But still looking back, I think I made a lot of progress because I used to be a lot worse than that. And I guess it just takes a lot of practice and a long, tedious process of endless learning. Because back in high school, our debate club used to have trainings and lectures every week. And as far as I can remember, I just never missed those opportunities. And I used to attend workshops and tournaments on a monthly basis. So basically, I just practice a lot. And for a long time, I just never break at any major event. However, the best thing I ever did is not giving up and just not expecting anything from debating and seeing it just as a pure hobby and not caring if I win or not. And after entering college, FEDS provided some really great training. Additional to the regular trainings, we also have trainings for major events like FOTRP and WDC. And each time Isaac would have this really thorough analysis on the motions and tell us basically every piece of related background information, which is all very helpful. So eventually I became better because I just failed so many times that it was practically impossible not to learn something from the past mistakes. So losing and learning, that's how I learn. And unfortunately, that is something I'm still doing right now.
Right. Well, that's something I did not really expect. I wonder then, could you maybe go back to some of those early days, I guess? Like, what would your mentality be like? Like, I know you didn't give up, but would like each of those losses, like losing isn't fun, right? Like how did you like deal with that?
Well, of course it's not fun. And I guess I kind of transformed that kind of sadness into a motivation of making memes to laugh about myself. It was really fun just because when you laugh at yourself, you kind of just forget all these embarrassing, awkward moments at debating, and you just take it easy. And it's like you can see it as just a fun experience. It doesn't have to be something that you have to win from. It's just a fun thing to do, like a random hobby or something.
Right. But especially, I mean, now that you've I noticed actually in the internal competition at school at Fudan, you just partnered with Caroline Yang Hangqi.
Yes.
Yeah, that one. And then, well, for the past year, you've been partnering with Jackson, and like you're dealing with like these FLTRP cups. From what I've heard, like they determine kind of like the ranking of your school. Does like, you know, partnering with all these, like, you know, knowing how good your teammates are, the background of them, or like what's at stake? Does this like, do you feel any pressure? Like you can still feel it as a hobby?
Of course, it's a lot of pressure, especially when I first teamed up with Jackson. Basically, I thought he was such a better debater than me. He was just so good at building cases, and every time we talk in the practice, I can think of nothing about the motion while he just goes on and on and on and on. And it's a lot of pressure. So even the practices had a lot of pressure on me. However, I guess it's just after getting to know them, both as a debater and personally, after getting to know these excellent people, and then it just make this fear go away, because they're just a really great person, and all of them are very helpful. Like Jackson never blamed me for messing up debates. At least I don't think so. So and also, if I ask questions, they would just answer me really nicely. And yeah, I just learned a lot from them. And eventually, it's like we are a team, and it's not me dragging them down. We are just a team, right?
Yeah, because to me, well, since the first time I, you know, met this partnership of yours between you and Jackson, doesn't seem to me, well, maybe I've missed the first semester, you know, that so-called, you know, you being like, wow, these amazing people. Because to me, you've always like been like, you know, like what you said, more like a team. You know, there wasn't really an imbalanced sort of like, you know, roles or something. But did you like have to, in each of those partnerships, do anything specifically different than, like with Caroline or with Jackson or with your high school or secondary school teammates? Did you have to like tweak like the roles?
Yeah, absolutely. Because in high school, my first teammate was Cindy, and she was also in our debate class last semester.
Right.
So
I know.
we have been classmates ever since grade 7, so we know each other really well. So it's basically, you don't have to do anything to cooperate with her. It's just the communication goes really smoothly, and we are always thinking the same thing. So it's really nice to debate with her. And although we lost a lot, still we enjoyed all the experiences of debating together. And then there was Jackson. This was really challenging, and I guess I had to just change my mentality of kind of adapting to him, because he is a great case builder, and if I have any strength that is slightly better than him, that is rebuttaling. So I have to work better on the rebuttals, and I have to I have to understand how his case worked, because they are just really complicated, and I have to get into his mind, like knowing how he thinks and adapt to that mode of thinking, which is well above my original mode of thinking. So it's just a really challenging process, but in the end, I think it worked out great. And then I'm teaming up with Caroline for WDC, and so far I think it's been great, because basically when we work together, I'm the first speaker and she's the second speaker, so I'm in charge of building cases. And that actually, I never built cases before, you know. I've always been the second speaker, so this has given me a great chance to practice like my PM speeches, to practice building cases, to practice like thinking a case from the very beginning and building it slowly. And yeah, this has been a great chance to practice this new thing for me. And also cooperating with her was just great, because she's really good at public speaking, and every time she speaks, she has this elegant style, you know, so it's just great listening to her speak. I really enjoyed the whole experience. Yeah.
Right. I sort of like, every time I listen to you, I sort of you sort of had a similar aura, I would say.
Oh, thank you.
Right. But so like you've changed actually from this long time second speaker to a first. Do you like feel like do you feel like in debate you should like always only, you know, work on your strengths, I guess, like stick for your whole life to stick to that one position? Or like what I wonder what advice you would have, I guess, for people, because for myself, for example, I tend to like being the first one as well, even though I'm no good at either one of those, but I tend to like being the first one.
You're absolutely great.
But then like at Fudan, I tried out like being the second one, and it was pretty different. So I wonder like if there's, I guess, advice for, you know, people who are considering like switching roles with their teammates, or something like that.
Well, I think it's absolutely great to switch roles, because I think after all, the most fundamental ability of debating is to build cases, and you cannot just learn by rebutting your whole debate career. Like even if you rebut all your opponent's cases, still if your side doesn't have a very solid case, you will still lose. So I think it's great to have a balance between these two. And also when you learn to build cases, you're also learning to the art of rebuttaling, because it's just a mutual thing, you know. You don't just learn one of them, you learn both of them at the same time. And I think it's very good to put you up on the spot, like challenging yourself, something you've never done before. And it's just great to see that you have the potential to do all these things, and which you never thought you would be. So I think personally, I would suggest everyone switching positions and like just try to see what being the first speaker or second speaker feels like, because it's completely different.
Hey homies, I hope you enjoyed this clip. If you did, here's a full playlist of sharings from other top-notch people I've met. Like, comment, subscribe, 一键3连, and I will see you in the next one. Alright guys, peace.